Same dull Raw, different Monday, different city, but the one constant still remains. It's a dull Raw. And that really wraps up this episode of Monday Night Raw. It was a dull. I really didn't feel excited at all. Don't get me wrong. I thought Revival versus McIntyre and Ziggler was probably the best thing on the show. Like, if there's anything you should go out of your way to watch on Monday Night Raw, was that alone. And you could probably see the main event. But other than that, I feel like, again, this episode of Raw has been dull. I feel like a chore to sit through. And keep this in mind, and it really just literally just crossed my mind, to be honest. Super Showdown is in 2 weeks, which is their network special that they're doing in Melbourne, in the stadium. And I don't feel excited for the show. I really do not feel invested or excited. It's on a Saturday, by the way, at 4 a.m. where I'm at. I will not be watching the show live. I'm actually going to be at work when this show's going live on the WWE Network. So don't expect a review right out of the gate when the show ends. The review will probably be the Sunday after, if anything. But again, I just don't feel excited. I don't feel invested at all. I don't feel like, oh my God, I can't wait. Keep this in mind too. And I said this on the podcast this past Friday. WWE, they're doing 5 major shows, if you will. Pay-per-views, network specials, if you will, combined in the next 2 months. Literally. We're not even counting takeovers, by the way. What the fuck is going on right now? I feel like they're just doing this mega overload on the fans. And I get it. If you're a wrestling fan, you want wrestling, it's great. But fucking hell. Holy shit. Enough is enough, I feel like sometimes. I really do. And if you're a YouTuber, if you're a podcaster, this is more stuff for you to review, more stuff for you to talk about. But if you're a viewer, it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you pouring all the juice in one jug right off the fucking bat, right off the gate? If you get the terminology, it is what it is. If you don't. But again, if I'm barely invested or excited for Super Showdown, just imagine how I'm going to be for Crown Jewel or for Survivor Series or for TLC or for Evolution. Holy crap, just imagine that. But we'll see. We'll see how WWE manages to get anyone excited for any of those shows. By the way, this is your Monday Night Raw review for September the 24th, 2018. Like I said, Raw was very, very dull. In my honest opinion, Raw was live from Denver, Colorado, by the way. But that's my honest opinion. I was always waiting from you guys in the comment threads below. Give me your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. If you actually enjoyed Raw, if you hated Raw, or you just thought Raw was actually dull and whatever. Or if not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. But what I'm going to talk about, obviously, right now is the whole Brie Bella situation that happened during the show. So, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, tonight on Raw, there was a 6-woman tag. It was the Bella Twins, and I want to say Natalia versus Ruby Riott, the Riott Squad. And somewhere in this match, Brie Bella does the ass kicks on Liv Morgan. And during the spot, she kicks her in the face twice and literally knocks out Liv Morgan. She's literally knocked out. She's not moving. She gets carried out to the back, if you will, and it's a 3-on-2. Now, people on social media, when this happened, went buzzing. They really just went off on social media, period, on Brie Bella, how reckless she is, how unsafe she is, how she's a liability, she's a risk to be in the ring with, what have you. And I get it. I understand. I've seen it myself. She's careless. She is, absolutely. Should WWE take action? Absolutely. But at the same time, are they really going to take any action? Absolutely not. And that's just the reality of the situation. It sucks, I know. It really, really does. Now, I'm going through Twitter, and apparently WWE posted an article on their website about what happened. And literally, this was a tweet that they attached in the article. And the tweet goes as follows. This is from the Bella Twins, by the way. Apparently, they both share a Twitter account. It is what it is. So this is what Brie apparently wrote, and quote, here's what she wrote, and quote, every match on Raw is an opportunity for us to entertain our fans. Our intentions as WWE superstars is to win the match, never injure our opponents. Thinking about Liv Morgan tonight. Heart emoji B. Now, you can say that, hey, Brie Bella means this, or you can even say, hey, WWE's making them say this. It's your opinion. It's your fucking opinion. I'm just going to say this, and again, I understand where people want WWE. I understand where fans want WWE to take action. I get that. I totally understand. At the same time, if we're gonna say this, hey, the Bella Twins Brie Bella should be reprimanded, or they should be taking action on her. They should also take action on Asuka, or even Sasha Banks. For breaking Alexa Bliss's nose, for injuring Paige. The list goes on. Again, I'm not just saying this but there's over the years, there's been numerous reports, numerous stuff that happened out there where a wrestler was reckless in the ring. Remember a couple years ago, I want to say it was last year, when it was Sexy Star versus Rosemary in Triple Mania, where freaking Sexy Star went ape shit on Rosemary, and everyone went crazy, what have you. The same thing here. Granted, it wasn't as as crazy as Sexy Star, but I will say again, Brie Bella, since coming back, has been very, very sloppy. I remember on Raw a couple weeks ago, Brie Bella went for a dive and she almost killed herself. She looked sloppy in her match with Zelina Vega on SmackDown Live. She looked sloppy in a match with, hell, even Maurice. Looks very, very sloppy. And it's one of those things where it's like, yo, I get it. You haven't been in the ring for so long, but holy crap. I think it's time to hang them up and just live your life as a mother, what have you. But again, with WWE, doing this big evolution show, of course the Bella Twins are gonna milk on this. I even heard people say that the Bella Twins should not even be on the show. That I disagree with. The Bella Twins, say what you want about them, yes, they are who they are, what have you. It is what it is. But they were a part of that whole evolution. They were a part of that. They were in that match that lasted like a minute and 30 seconds or under a minute that started the whole hashtag give Divas a chance. They were part of it. So in a way, they should be on the pay-per-view. And the same thing you can say, this is just a cash-in for them. It is what it is. Okay? You're going to watch still, but hey, it's your choice. But overall, like I said, this show felt very, very dull. The show kicked off with the Shield arguing with Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre and Braun. Dolph and Drew, they were trying to convince Dean to literally, the Shield don't care about him, and Baron Corbin announced that the Drew and Dolph would be defending their tag titles tonight, and Baron Corbin had to choose two partners to go up against the Shield. Now keep this in mind too, the Shield talking about how they have the power, being that Roman is the Universal Champion and Seth being the Intercontinental Champion. But again, the whole thing here is that they were trying to instigate on Dean Ambrose. How Dean, again, was out for all this time, but the Shield didn't care about him. Roman or Seth didn't care while Dean was hurt. How Dean almost died of a staph infection. And even Ziggler went on to mention how when they were on SmackDown, Dean was the WWE champion. And I look at him now, he's nothing. So they're throwing in the whole, hey, there's possibility where Dean Ambrose will turn heel. They're teasing it. And now the whole thing too. Now, again, we've been hearing for a while that it was going to happen. That Dean might turn. And I think, honestly, he does need the heel turn. He absolutely. You could do a Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns program down the road. Why the hell not? Maybe for the Royal Rumble. If my honest opinion. But hey, we'll see how that goes. But again, that was the big thing on the show when you think about it. We had the first match on the show. We had Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal. You had Bayley and Alicia at ringside. Apparently, Bayley and Finn are part of the mixed match challenge with, as well as Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. Honestly, I did not care for this match. It was whatever. All you need to know that Finn beat Jinder Mahal. Bayley and Alicia again were at ringside. Bayley cheated for Finn, causing her to get into the ring. Get into it with Alicia Fox and Sunil Singh, allowing Finn to roll up Jinder off a distraction to win the match. Again, honestly, this match is whatever, just to hype up mixed match challenge, what have you. In reality, is this? I feel bad for both Jinder and Finn here. I feel like at one time both these guys were at a point where, oh my god, I remember Finn again was the first Universal Champion, and now he's been reduced to nothing. Even Jinder Mahal, see what you want about him. This guy was WWE Champion. And now look at it, he's telling people to shanty and find peace and no. If I want to see if I want to see a Hindu wrestler telling me to be peaceful and find my inner peace, I'll watch Sanjay Dutt in 2008 with the freaking Guru. I'm just saying, it is what it is though. We had the Riot Squad versus the Bella Twins and Natalia. I talked about this earlier with Brie Bella kicking Liv Morgan in the face during the match. And even though it was a 3-on-2, Ruby Riot ended up getting the win after she hit the Riot kick on Natalia. Apparently next week it will be Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riot. Again, you're building up to Super Showdown, which again, regardless, is going to be the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riot and the Riot Squad. Why are we giving the match sort of away? When you think about it, it's the Riot Squad tonight with Brie and Nikki. All you're doing is replacing Ronda with Natalia here. I didn't like that. I feel like if you're going to do a Super Showdown like this, right, which is the Super Show for them around the network, you shouldn't have the opponents touch each other. That's my honest opinion. You could have grabbed 3 different people on the roster, or enhancement talents for that matter, to go up against the Riot Squad. But hey, that's my honest opinion. Take it for what it's worth. It's Stephanie and Triple H. They presented the championship title belt to two of the Connor Cure kids. That was a cool segment for what it is. Again, you want to show that these kids and all that, which I thought again is great. It's awesome. I can't hate on it at all. I really can't. Triple H was asked later on about the Undertaker. He said that Undertaker's time is coming to an end. Again, say what you want about this show. I may not be invested in this. I may not be invested in this show, but I am sort of invested in Taker and Triple H for nostalgia purpose, especially now with Shawn Michaels being in the corner of Triple H and Kane being in the corner of Undertaker. Oh man, mother flower, it makes you want to be okay. Especially now with the rumors of Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement for Crown Jewel, bruh, you gotta love that Arab money. If you're WWE, you gotta love that Arab money. I'm just saying. We had Chad Gable versus Connor because, again, for these past couple of weeks, you have Chad Gable beating up Victor of the Ascension. So now it's Connor's turn. And what do you know? Connor actually beat Chad Gable. Holy crap. Wow, right? Bobby Roode appeared disappointed. Again, they're probably teasing the breakup from these two guys. So we'll see how that goes. We had probably the best match on the show here. The best match on the show. With Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Again, this is probably the best thing on the show. If there's anything on this show you should go out of your way to watch, is this match right here. Just the crazy near falls. Revival actually, they hit a doomsday device, I believe. And Ziggler managed to kick out, and everyone thought that was it. It was over right there. No. But it was all said and done, though. They hit the Claymore kick. I want to say it was on Dash Wilder. For the 1, 2, 3. Hit the Claymore zigzag combination, by the way. So there you go with that. So McIntyre and Ziggler retain, but nonetheless, this was a very, very good match. And it also shows you, despite all the BS that the Revival had to go through during the summer, right, with the B team, they showed you how they're still a very, very good, tag team in WWE right now. And it's a shame that they're stuck in this hellhole that's Monday Night Raw. Can you imagine the Revival on SmackDown Live? Imagine that. Revival on SmackDown Live feuding with the likes of the Usos, the New Day, hell, the Club for that matter, or even for shits and giggles for that matter, the freaking, not anymore because, again, Eric Rowan is hurt, but remember the Bludgeon Brother. I'm just saying. the stuff you could do over there on SmackDown Live with the Revival. I'm just totally saying. I'm being honest about that too. I'm being honest about that as well. We have Bobby Lashley versus Elias. This whole thing started as a Kevin Owens show segment where Owens and Elias were trying to get Lio Rush into the ring. And then this led to Bobby Lashley coming out. Lashley got a big ovation. Again, Raw today was in Denver, and that's where Lashley's from. The match, for what it was, though, it was okay. Nothing to go crazy for, anything like that. I just feel like, again, it just went, for some reason, it went way too long. This match ends in disqualification because apparently in this whole thing, you see Kevin Owens trying to chase down Lio Rush, and he can't catch him at all. You really can't catch him. And this led during this whole thing, I want to say Kevin Owens, by no intention whatsoever, to hit Bobby Lashley or trip on him, what have you, and that call for the referee for the bell to call disqualification. And then you see again Lashley making the save for Lio Rush. And again, I do enjoy the pairing. I think honestly the pairing itself, in the long run though, I feel like it's gonna benefit more Lio Rush than it will Lashley. But nonetheless, I do enjoy it. I think it's great. You know, you have someone to do the talking for Bobby Lashley, but at the same time, it's going to benefit Lio Rush more than it will Lashley. But we'll see how this goes. I will say though, Lio Rush, the way he talks is annoying. It is kind of cringy. My man, yeah, let me tell you. I'm just saying. But we find out that next week it will be Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens. Who'd say maybe we'll end up seeing, Lio Rush wrestling on Monday Night Raw one day. We'll fucking see. We had Rollins trying to convince Drew McIntyre that he was carrying Dolph Ziggler and he should break up from him, and McIntyre took that info to Ambrose, and they continue to try to break up the Shield. So they try to do that. Also early in the day as well, you had Ziggler trying to talk to Ambrose as well. So again, they're teasing this whole thing that Dean Ambrose might be turning on the Shield. They're teasing that, and then I guess Rollins had to retaliate in some way, shape, or form. So what better way than for Rollins to go to Drew McIntyre and tell them that, hey, the Intercontinental Championship picture should be not Dolph Ziggler and Rollins, but Rollins and Drew McIntyre. How McIntyre is, again, the muscle in this whole thing, and how Ziggler is riding the coattails. So we'll see if that even breaks up, if that breakup even happens, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Eventually, you got to believe in the back of your mind that someone like Drew McIntyre is going to do big things on the main roster. Hell, you could even do a Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre program for the Universal title. Why the hell not? I think that makes a lot of sense down the road. Maybe for a TLC or maybe for a Survivor Series. Why the hell not? But I just don't think WWE will do it because, again, it's them and We had Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. Honestly, I didn't care for this match. Alicia Fox won with the Samoan drop. And then we had the main event. You had the Shield versus Baron Corbin and AOP. So this whole time, Baron Corbin had two mystery opponents. It made sense for AOP. It really, really made sense. This whole thing, I want to say Razor had to stare down with Roman Reigns. And think about that, right? At one time when they were teasing the whole Roman turning heel, the idea of putting Roman with the Authors of Pain, or AOP for that, I'm still calling them the Authors of Pain. I don't give a shit. The idea of putting those three guys together, and now they're facing off, right? And the match I thought was a very, very, entertaining match. They did the whole thing where Rollins had trouble getting the tag, and eventually, you had Rollins tagging in on Dean Ambrose. And keep this in mind, at the same time this whole thing is going down, you had Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre sitting down at ringside, watching this all go down. And again, a match where it's all going crazy. Ambrose gets a tag. He goes literally balls out. And when it's all said and done, Roman hits the spear. I want to say on Akam or Razor, one of the other. No, Baron Corbin. And they pin. They got the pin, and they win. And they see this whole thing where Ambrose is on the outside. He's literally sitting on the outside of the ring. And you see in the ring, Roman and Rollins celebrating with their titles. and you see again just Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre on the other side, and they want Dean to come with them, to join them. And then you see Dean just thinking about it for a while, because again, this whole idea that, oh my God, Dean Ambrose might turn heel, right? And he gets in the ring and joins the Shield, and they do the fist bump, and that's how they end the show. I don't think this is the end of the tease of Dean turning heel, but nonetheless, for a main event, it was enjoyable to watch. My only complaint is this: I would have had Dean get the win, not Roman Reigns. That's just me, of course. That's my honest opinion. But nonetheless, I thought Raw was a dull show. Really, really dull. With a very, enjoyable, solid main event, with a very good tag team match between the Revival and Ziggler and McIntyre for the Raw tag team titles. And of course, you have Careless Brie on the fucking loose. Yeah, if Nikki Bella is Fearless Nikki, you're going to call Brie Careless Brie. Hands down. Careless Brie. And keep this in mind, she's married to Daniel Bryan, who is one of the most over guys on the roster, who I can assure you is all about having it safe in the ring, not being reckless and shit. And you would think that she would learn from him, but hey, who am I to say, right? That's around the point. But nonetheless, Mother Flowers, I as always want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. If you enjoyed the show, if you hated this show, are you looking forward to Super Showdown, all that fun stuff. I will be doing a review of Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor coming up this coming Friday. So if you're new to this channel, hit that sub button down below. We are so close to 1,700 subscribers, Mother Flowers. So let's get there, all right? Let's get there. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for the SmackDown Live review, NXT review as well, even Impact. I know last week I really did not upload anything. I had a Big Mike from the Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show covering SmackDown Live for me, and I'm going to thank him again. Again, last week my schedule was so busy with literally work. I didn't have time to do anything. I really did not have time to do anything at all. I didn't watch last week's Mae Young Classic. I didn't watch last week's Pete Dunne versus Ricochet yet. Nothing at all. Nothing. So literally I'm catching up on things and all that fun stuff. So again, guys, this is a way to come back, if you will. But I'll be back tomorrow for SmackDown, NXT, and all that fun stuff in this whole coming week. And as well, like I said, Friday, Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. Can't wait to see that show at all. Cannot wait to see that show. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button down below. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Mother Flowers, it's me, it's Steve, and it's wrestling and whatever. Mother Flowers.